What's up, Blue Chips? Episode 2 of Day Trading Breakdown, going right back to Ross Cameron and checking out how he lost 30% of his small account today. Let's get to it. All right, so let's jump right into his first trade here on LMPX. Let's give it a quick listen.
So as it surges up here, I got in right here as it broke 19. Now, the tough thing with this, even looking at it now, is that was a really extended entry.
All right, so he's talking about how he got in right here on this move as it went through 19. As you can see, we marked it at 1897, so it was actually a little bit higher than that. And he was looking for the break of 19, the whole dollar, as well as the push up towards this 1950, which he mentions is the pre-market high. And he was looking for it to go through that. However, as you can see, it gets pretty stuffed right here over 19. It actually got to a high of 1929 and ultimately comes all the way back down, and he ended up selling down through 1850 when it came back down. So kind of goes to show you from our video yesterday that this is the risk that you take when you're playing these breakouts. And like you heard him mention, this was a pretty extended move already. And you guys hear me say it all the time when I'm looking for a trade. I don't trade double tops. They're a little risky because that's when potential breakouts happen. As you just heard him say, that's what he was looking for, hoping that it would happen. And as you can see, in this case, it didn't even get to the chance to double top. It just got rejected straight over the whole dollar of 19 and fell back down, and he stopped out. All right, so his second trade was on FWP. We'll give that a quick listen.
So I was in at 950, 948. And I was thinking I was getting in. This is a red to green move. It went red, now it's going green. I'm getting in, target, break of 10, and then I move up towards 11.
All right. So the idea behind this one was, you had the pre-market or yesterday's highs all the way up here around $11. It opened up. Let me get out of this. It's not going to let me, is it? Erase both of those. So we got the yesterday's high at $11. And then we had the opening of the day at $9.50. So when it shot down all the way to $8, it started to curl back up. And he saw this candle as it was coming red to green, and he jumped in at $9.48. He was looking for it to extend up through the whole dollar mark of 10 on the red to green move and shoot up towards yesterday's highs of $11. As you can see again, looking for that breakout move, it gets absolutely stuffed and shoved all the way back down, where he actually ends up getting out as it broke through $9, taking over a 50-cent loss. So a couple major problems I see with this one. And it might seem like I'm bashing Ross today, but it's not. You can go watch my video from yesterday where some of these actually worked out. However, I told you yesterday these are very 50-50. And you're seeing the other side of the coin flip today. Look at the volume. Even on the biggest candle, which is the candle that he ended up buying on, and I'm assuming everyone else that was looking to buy this same red to green breakout got in on this candle, 64,000. That was the biggest candle. Every other candle that you see on here is it's less than 10,000. Absolutely horrible volume. And who knows who still bought on this candle and is still holding. You never know. But again, it just goes to show you that without a real significant breakout strategy involved in here, just a simple red to green on absolutely no volume, this was, to me, just a bad trade idea overall. And it turned out to be a bad trade in the end as well. He had mentioned that there was a hidden seller at 950, but it did pop up to 958 before eventually getting stuff back down, because as it went up to 958, apparently it went right back down to 950. And so, yeah, that was FWP. All right, and the last trade that he took was on TCCO. This one, he was kind of covering the screen, and he never gave us any monetary values. So we don't know exactly where his entry and his exit was, but you could kind of tell by his commentary that he essentially somewhat missed this move because he was answering some questions for somebody at a seminar. But he had mentioned that he wouldn't have taken the move because there was no news on the stock and the volume wasn't that great until this actual candle here. But he saw it come up and make this high at 768, pull back, and then he saw it go up. He actually didn't get in for this fake out breakout here. He actually said he had called this one down here, but that's a whole different story. It pulls back, and he saw it making higher lows. He said it looked like an ABCD pattern, which in a sense it was. And when it pulled back, this is where he got in as it broke the high of day again. And, it made lower highs. He's looking for this thing to break out up towards $8. As you can see, right when he entered, it got absolutely stuffed. It got up to 789. He probably got in, I'm assuming, somewhere around the break. Usually he tries to get in a little bit before that. This was 777, so probably like 775 area. Jumps up to 789. He said he didn't get any fill, and he was waiting for it to attempt, high a day again, and it absolutely flushes on him. And he made it sound like he, didn't really get out until the flush kind of ended there. So I'm assuming somewhere on this candle is where he got out. Don't know exactly how much. He does give you the amount that he lost. And in all three of these trades, they all were losers. That ended up being about 30% of his small account that he's, attempting to do the challenge with. So it was a pretty big hit today. And it just goes to show you when you're trying to play these breakout strategies, they're not always going to work. And when they don't work, they tend to come with these big red candles at the end of it. So it definitely takes some experience to understand when a breakout is failing and to attempt to try to get out before these big red candles. But a lot of times, if you're at the top of these candles, your average is way up here because you're playing the breakout. It's real hard to just take a small loss because you're waiting. You're like, well, if I get out, it's going to break out. But a lot of times, if they do break out, you're going to end up selling into that first push for, say, like 20 cents. But, waiting, you're risking, sometimes 40, 50 cents. So I don't see the appeal in these. To me, they're not worth it. But if you're looking for more like bigger breakouts like these down here, where you're looking, you're risking a smaller amount for, the bigger reward, I can understand those types of breakout trades. But, when you're just buying high of day and hoping it goes even higher, I don't quite get it. But, that's just me. That's the beauty of the market. We all have our views, and that's why there's 1,000 different ways to make money in the market. But that's all I got for you today on my review with Ross and his trades. So if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Getting close to that 1,000 sub mark. I would always appreciate that support. And if you are interested, I'm doing a live stream tomorrow morning. We do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now. And I'll see you then. Peace.